from a Jim. Hey Jim, you want to turn on the lights in there for? I'm sure they talked about the LEED certification in the building, and what happens if there's nobody in a room? There's motion sensors and the lights will turn off. So once Jim steps in there, everything should light up. But what you guys are looking at here is a break-in testing area in the facility. What happens with Spindles, before they leave the building, they would go into the break-in testing room here. And what you can see within the room is we have a bunch of different stands that allows us to put the Spindles on and run them in the orientation that the customer would be using them at. So the advantage to this is, one example is the customer has a spindle that runs vertical nose down, and it's an oil lubricated spindle. Usually that design has some kind of porting through the nose of the spindle that allows the oil to drain through the spindle. So if you were to take this spindle and run it in a horizontal, everything starts pulling, the oil doesn't come out of the spindle. And in the long run, we might actually do some damage to the spindle. So, and the other advantage to this room is, most spindles don't just plug in the wall and you run them like, an appliance at home. They need a lot of support equipment to run them. One thing, if you look straight forward there, the blue Spindle, that's an example of a drive unit. We have multiple drive units to run different types of spindles. And you need a diversity, because they do vary between spindles. Smaller spindles need a different type of drive. If you have a big, giant horsepower spindle, it would require a different type of drive. So, also, most spindles need some type of lubrication systems. A lot of them are grease lubricated, but more and more you're getting oil lubricated spindles now. And they have different types of lubrication methods. And we have the different lubricators here that we can use to run the spindles. So, also, a lot of them are liquid cooled. They're either using oil-based coolant or a liquid or a water-based coolant. So we have the chillers available here. And what this allows us to do is we're able to run these spindles at the speed and orientation that the customer would be using them at. And the advantage there is a lot of these, some of them are fairly quick. You could take them apart and in and out of a machine, but some are not. A lot of the larger units you've seen throughout the shop, some may take days to reassemble into the machine. So what we're doing here is we're running it before it leaves here at the speed orientation. So if there's anything wrong with the spindle, we're going to find it here before it leaves. So if you were the customer, you don't want to get a spindle, spend 2 days reinstalling it on your machine, and then find out after 10 minutes that it seizes up because there was some type of issue with that spindle.